It was the longest stretch I'd ever spent at Gatacam in the 40-some years we've called it home. Looking around him, it's clear life here isn't hard. The thought of being stuck in a block of flats? Unimaginable. And yet, the royal world seemed to pause in a moment that felt both timeless and profoundly personal. Princess Anne, the steadfast, tireless Princess Royal, stepped into the spotlight for what many believe could be her final major public appearance. In a gesture that left royal insiders whispering and fans misty-eyed, she announced her plan to hand over her honorary duties and patronages to none other than Princess Charlotte. But it wasn't just the announcement that moved people. It was the private letter and the priceless family heirloom that Anne sent to Charlotte. A letter that, if ever revealed, could define Anne's legacy as the guiding light for the female line of succession. And then came the symbolic declaration, Anne's public endorsement of Charlotte as the future bearer of the Princess Royal title. Although that title requires the king's formal approval, Anne's blessing carried a weight impossible to ignore. So what exactly unfolded in that unforgettable moment, and why does it matter so much? Stay with us as we unpack this emotional chapter of royal history, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. There's something remarkable about the way Princess Anne connects with the younger royals. Known for her no-nonsense demeanor and relentless work ethic, Anne has always been more than a ceremonial figurehead. She's a mentor, a guide, and in many ways, a grandmotherly figure to her great-niece Charlotte. Royal watchers have noticed the quiet moments between them, a shared glance during trooping the color, a soft nod at a joint engagement. Not grand gestures but subtle signals of a bond built on respect and understanding. Anne, who has held the Princess Royal title since 1987, seems to see herself in Charlotte, a spark of independence, a quiet strength, and in her final act, she chose to honor that spark in a way no one saw coming. It happened during a rare public event at Clarence House, a celebration of the 50th anniversary of one of Anne's most beloved patronages, the Riding for the Disabled Association. As the room fell silent, Anne stepped forward, her voice steady yet tinged with emotion. She spoke of her decades of service, her pride in the causes she's championed, and her faith in the next generation. Then, in a moment that caught even the most seasoned royal reporters off guard, she turned her gaze to Princess Charlotte, seated in the front row. "The future lies in capable hands," she said, "and I am proud to entrust my duties to Princess Charlotte, whose heart and spirit will carry this legacy forward." The room erupted in applause, but for those closest to the family, it was Charlotte's wide, awed eyes, honored and just a little overwhelmed, that told the real story. But the true heart of this story wasn't the public announcement. It was what happened behind closed doors. Royal insiders revealed whispers of a handwritten letter from Anne to Charlotte, delivered alongside a family heirloom, a sapphire brooch once worn by Queen Victoria, a symbol of duty and resilience. The letter's contents remain tightly guarded, though sources describe it as a mix of guidance, encouragement, and deeply personal reflection. One insider called it Anne's way of passing on not just responsibilities but value. If revealed, this letter could forever reshape our image of Anne, not just as the royal workhorse, but as a visionary shaping the monarchy's future, through the women who will carry it forward. It was a gesture both intimate and monumental, a bridge between generations. Anne's public endorsement carried another layer of meaning. Her support for Charlotte as the future Princess Royal sent a powerful message. By tradition, the title is granted by the monarch to his eldest daughter, but it isn't automatic. After Anne's passing, the title would return to the crown for the king, or one day William, to bestow. Yet Anne's clear and public words that Charlotte is ready to carry this honor when the time comes, painted a vivid picture of the next Princess Royal. Posts on X echoed that sentiment, with royal watchers noting Charlotte is now strongly positioned to inherit the title when she's older. Why Charlotte? To understand Anne's choice, you have to look at the young princess herself. At just 10 years old, she's already shown a poise far beyond her years. Who could forget her standing tall at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral, bowing her head and curtsying with grace that moved millions, or her confident, thoughtful questions at the Chelsea Flower Show, engaging gardeners like a young diplomat. These moments aren't just childhood milestones, they're glimpses of a royal ready to step up. Anne, who's always valued action over pomp, sees in Charlotte a kindred spirit, someone who won't just wear the title, but live it. She's got a good head on her shoulders, Anne has been overheard saying privately, a rare compliment from a woman known for her sparing words. Anne's role in this chapter goes far beyond simply handing off duties. She's emerging as a mentor shaping the future of women in the royal family. Unlike the ceremonial roles of the past, Anne's tenure as Princess Royal has been defined by grit, endless engagements, unflashy patronages, and a refusal to be sidelined. By choosing Charlotte, she sent a clear message. The future of the monarchy lies with women who serve with purpose. The heirloom and letter were more than gifts. They were symbols of that mantle. If someday the letter is revealed, perhaps in a royal memoir or document, it could seal Anne's reputation as the visionary who recognized Charlotte's potential long before anyone else did. And then there's the sapphire brooch. Not just a beautiful jewel, but a piece of history worn by Queen Victoria herself. A symbol of wisdom and loyalty, qualities Anne embodies, and clearly sees in her great niece. Pinned to Charlotte's coat in a private family moment, the brooch became a quiet but powerful signal of continuity. Just as Victoria passed her strength to future generations, Anne entrusted Charlotte with the same resilience. It's details like this that make the story so compelling. Not just a royal handoff, but a deeply human one. The announcement was more than a public spectacle. It deeply moved the family. Prince William and Catherine, seated near Charlotte at the event, exchanged a glance full of pride and respect. William, always close to his aunt, looked visibly touched. Catherine, steady as ever, reached over to take Charlotte's hand. A small grounding gesture in a life-changing moment. It was emotional for all of us, a palace aide later shared. Even young Prince George, watching quietly from the side, seemed to understand the gravity of what had just happened. And it's not just in public that Charlotte at home, she's already something of a quiet leader, the so-called Louis Whisperer, calming her younger brother during balcony appearances and family outings with a gentle nudge or whisper. Anne, who has always prized family unity, no doubt recognized that quality in Charlotte, a natural ability to guide without overshadowing. By entrusting her with these patronages, Anne is giving Charlotte a platform to extend that innate leadership beyond the palace wall. It's a role that already feels tailor-made for a girl who's been quietly shaping her family from within. The public reaction was immediate and heartfelt. On X, royal fans called it a perfect choice. Charlotte will carry the Princess Royal title with the same strength as Anne. Others speculated about the letter, imagining it as a roadmap for Charlotte's future. Headlines praised Anne's foresight and Charlotte's poise. And amid all the buzz was something quieter: gratitude. Gratitude for Anne, whose decades of service have paved the way for this next chapter. Because in the end, royal transitions aren't just about titles, they're about people. And no story about Charlotte is complete without Catherine. As a mother, Catherine has mastered the delicate art of preparing her children for royal life, while keeping them grounded in the real world. During the Clarence House event, her presence was subtle but powerful. When Charlotte turned to her after Anne's announcement, Catherine gave her a reassuring smile, the kind of smile that quietly says, "You've got." It's a dynamic we've seen many times before. Catherine brushing Charlotte's hair at Wimbledon, whispering words of guidance during formal events. Catherine's parenting style, rooted in love and simplicity, has given Charlotte the confidence to step gracefully into this new role. Anne's letter may serve as a guide to Charlotte's future, but it's Catherine's steadying hand that's helping her navigate the present. Some royal historians even speculate that Anne's letter could one day become part of an unprecedented royal document, perhaps released to mark a milestone like Charlotte's 18th birthday or her official assumption of the Princess Royal title. Such a document would blend the personal with the public, honoring Anne's legacy while celebrating Charlotte's rise. For now, though, the letter remains private, its words known only to Charlotte and her family. So what does this mean for Charlotte's future? William and Catherine have always emphasized giving their children choices, and Anne's endorsement aligns perfectly with that vision. By taking on Anne's patronages, Charlotte is stepping into a role of service, but it's not a rigid path. She may choose to focus on education, pursue personal passions, or even carve a career outside the traditional royal sphere. Much like Anne's own children, Zara and Peter, the skills Charlotte is already building, public speaking, empathy, leadership, will serve her no matter what road she takes. Insiders say Anne's letter even encouraged this flexibility, urging her to be true to yourself, whatever path you choose. It's a modern approach to royalty, one Anne quietly championed throughout her life. Every royal has defining moments, and for Charlotte, this handoff is one of them. From her first nursery school days to her poised presence at Queen Elizabeth's funeral, she's been quietly preparing for this. But Anne's announcement feels like a turning point. The image of Charlotte clutching the sapphire brooch, her eyes fixed on Anne, is already destined to become part of royal history, a poignant reminder that behind the titles and ceremonies are real people navigating love, duty, and change. Anne's letter, though unseen, is the thread tying it all together, a testament to her belief in Charlotte's potential. This story transcends pomp and pageantry. It's about family, a great aunt placing her faith in her great niece, a mother steadying her daughter's nerves, a father beaming with pride. It's about those quiet, powerful moments that define us, a handwritten note, a brooch pinned with care, a look that silently says, "I trust you." Anne's gesture reminds us that royalty isn't just about crowns and titles. It's about passing on values, resilience, and empathy to those who will carry them forward, and it signals something more. For a monarchy often seen as rigid, Anne's endorsement of Charlotte marks a clear commitment to empowering women to lead. Historically, figures like Princess Margaret, and even Anne herself, faced limitations shaped by protocol. By championing Charlotte, Anne is paving a freer, more authentic path for the next generation. The letter, if it ever comes to light, could become a manifesto for this new era, a guide for Charlotte and future royals on balancing tradition with individuality. For the public, this story resonates deeply because it mirrors universal truths: the pride of watching a child grow, the bittersweet act of passing on a legacy, the hope that the next generation will shine even brighter. Charlotte's journey, guided by Anne's wisdom, Catherine's nurturing, and William's steadfast support, reminds us that even in a world of tiaras and titles, it's the human connections that endure. Anne's final act isn't just about Charlotte's future, it's about a monarchy that trusts its women to lead with heart. As Princess Charlotte steps into this next chapter, all eyes are on her, full of curiosity and hope. Will she embrace Anne's patronages with the same grit and grace that defined her great-aunt's career? Will she bring her own spark and youthful energy to causes like the Riding for the Disabled Association? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes this moment so thrilling. At just 10 years old, Charlotte is already a figure of poise and promise, but she's also still a young girl, with dreams, hobbies, and a close-knit family keeping her grounded. Her future won't just be about royal duties, it will be about discovering who she is. Anne's letter, though private, is said to offer a roadmap, not of rigid expectations, but of encouragement to follow her heart. Insiders whisper that it speaks of courage, of standing firm in the face of scrutiny, and of finding joy in service. One can imagine Charlotte years from now, rereading those words before a major engagement, the sapphire brooch pinned to her coat, a quiet reminder of Anne's faith in her. The question of the Princess Royal title still lingers. Ultimately, it's up to King Charles and later perhaps William to bestow it. But Anne's endorsement has already set a powerful precedent. Royal watchers speculate that Charlotte could officially assume the title in her late teens or early 20s, marking a new era for the monarch. But beyond titles, Charlotte's journey is about impact. Will she champion mental health and education as her parents have, or follow Anne's example by dedicating herself to less glamorous but deeply meaningful causes? Her confident wave at public events and her natural ability to calm her brother Louis suggest a born leader, one who could redefine what it means to be a modern princess. William and Catherine will play a key role in this balance. They've raised Charlotte to be grounded, giving her the freedom to explore who she is, whether through ballet, school projects, or quiet family evenings at Adelaide Cottage. Catherine, with her gentle guidance, will likely accompany Charlotte to her early engagements, helping her ease into her new responsibilities. William, proud but protective, will ensure she's never overwhelmed. And then there's George, her big brother, who may